can stripe your drives all day long, but if you can't get up and down when it matters, those shots don't mean much. That's the reality of scoring golf. The short game is where rounds are made or broken, and the wedge in your bag is the biggest part of that equation. Callaway has been building some of the most talked about wedges on the market, with options that cover every kind of player. The casual weekend golfer who just wants something forgiving and reliable, all the way up to the serious player who demands tour-level spin and shot-making versatility. So whether you're trying to stop flubbing chips or you want to genuinely attack pins from 100 yards and in, there's a Callaway wedge built for exactly what you need. Welcome to Golf Gear Now, where we dig into the gear that actually makes a difference on the course. Today we're breaking down 5 of the best Callaway wedges available right now, covering every price point and playing style. These are in no particular order, so stay with us through all 5. Your perfect wedge might surprise you. And before we get into it, all the product links with the best prices we could find are down in the description below. Check those out before you buy anywhere else. Kicking things off with the Callaway Elyte wedge, and if you're looking for something that blends easy distance, solid control, and a feel that's actually satisfying at impact, this one deserves a hard look. The Elyte uses Callaway's new speed frame construction, which is a big deal because it allowed engineers to pack in more of the patented urethane microspheres than previous designs. Those microspheres are what give the club that soft, muted feel at impact. No harsh clunk, just a clean, responsive sensation. And because of the speed frame design, you're also getting faster ball speeds across the face, which translates to more consistent distance even when you don't catch it perfectly. The AI-10X face technology takes things further. Callaway's AI-designed faces have been a big part of their iron lineup for a while now, and this version uses 10 times more control points than earlier iterations. The result is tight shot dispersion and optimized launch across different impact locations on the face. Translation: you don't have to be robotically consistent to get good results. The trisole design is also worth mentioning. It has 3 distinct sections engineered to provide smooth turf interaction no matter the lie, with a sharper leading edge and chamfered trailing edge that help the club glide through rather than dig. For golfers who play a variety of course conditions, that kind of versatility from a single wedge is genuinely useful. Don't overlook the loft configuration available here either. The Elyte wedge ships in an approach wedge loft, which makes it a natural bridge between your iron set and a dedicated sand or lob wedge. A lot of golfers carry an approach wedge as their highest lofted iron without giving it much thought. But having one purpose-built with wedge-specific technology, real groove engineering, and proper sole geometry means you're getting a more controlled, more consistent club on those 90 to 110-yard approaches that can be some of the trickiest shots on the course. Something else that doesn't get talked about enough with the Elyte: it works as a standalone wedge or as part of a matched set. Callaway built it to pair naturally with the Elyte iron family. So if you're already playing or considering Elyte irons, there's a real consistency of feel from your scoring irons into your wedge. That seamlessness matters more than most golfers realize. When the feel and feedback changes drastically between clubs, it throws off your touch around the green. The Elyte keeps things familiar. The one thing to keep in mind: the Elyte is built more for the golfer looking for distance and consistency than for someone who needs to shape a wide variety of specialty shots around the green. If you're after maximum shot-making creativity, you may find more options in other models on this list. But for overall performance and ease of use, it earns its spot. The Elyte is a strong pick for the golfer who wants a wedge that performs well with minimal fuss, consistent speed, soft feel, and smart engineering all in one package. From a wedge built for versatility and ease of use, let's talk about one built for pure value: the Callaway Jaws MD5. If you want legitimate tour-level performance without paying a premium price, the MD5 has quietly become one of the most trusted options in the game, and it's not hard to understand why. The Jaws MD5 was built with a serious amount of tour input, and it shows. The groove design is where this wedge earns its reputation. The sharp groove edges create maximum contact with the ball, which means spin. Particularly from 80 yards and in, you get that one hop and stop trajectory that turns a good approach into a tap-in birdie putt. That kind of control is something players used to expect only from premium-priced blades. But the MD5 isn't just about spin. It was constructed with soft 8620 carbon steel, which gives it a uniquely satisfying feel at impact. Combined with loft-optimized weighting, 4 weight ports with milled aluminum medallions, the CG shifts progressively upward as loft increases. What that means in practice is a wedge that feels right on every shot, from a bump and run to a full gap wedge from the fairway. The sole grind selection is genuinely impressive too. You get 5 different grind options: S, C, W, a low bounce W, and X, each with generous camber from heel to toe for smooth turf interaction. Whether you play on tight, firm turf or softer conditions, there's a grind combination here that's going to work for your game and your swing. There's also something to be said for the shape and address profile. The MD5 MD5 has a traditional wedge look, not too wide, not too boxy, that gives confident players the clean lines they want to see at the ball. It was developed by Roger Cleveland, who has been behind some of the most trusted wedge designs in golf history, and that pedigree shows in how thoughtfully the whole package comes together. The one drawback worth acknowledging: the MD5 has been around for a few years at this point, so it doesn't include some of the newer face and construction technologies found in more recent Callaway wedges. That said, the core performance is still excellent, and the price point makes it one of the best value plays in the entire wedge market. For the golfer who wants reliable, tour-validated spin, feel, and shot-making versatility without stretching the budget, the Jaws MD5 has quietly been one of the best wedge values Callaway has ever made. The MD5 is impressive for its price, but if you want to see what happens when Callaway takes the Jaws platform and turns the performance dial all the way up, the Jaws Raw is the answer. This one is built for the player who is serious about squeezing every last bit of spin out of every shot around the green. The headline feature is the Raw face. Callaway removed the plating from the face on purpose. Without that plating, the steel is exposed to moisture and will develop some surface rust over time in the scoring zone. And that's exactly the point. A raw, slightly roughened face creates more friction at impact, more direct contact between ball and club face, and ultimately, more spin. It's the kind of detail that lower handicap players care deeply about, and golfers who've made the switch often say the difference in spin rates is noticeable right away. Pair that with grooves that feature a 37-degree wall angle, among the sharpest in any Callaway wedge, and you get a combination built specifically for stopping power. The offset groove and groove technology takes it even further, with micro grooves milled at a 20-degree angle to add extra bite on chips, pitches, and lob shots. The Jaws Raw also introduced tungsten weighting to the Callaway wedge lineup for the first time, used in the sand and lob wedge lofts to center the CG and improve feel and control. And the grind lineup is extensive: S, C, W, X, Z, and J grinds depending on the loft, giving skilled players a lot of options to dial in exactly the kind of turf interaction they want. It's also worth understanding what the variable length hosels are doing here. Callaway engineered different hosel lengths across lofts to control trajectory and improve forgiveness, so the pitch wedge behaves differently from the lob wedge in a deliberate, calculated way. That's not something you just feel intuitively. It's something you start to notice after a few rounds, when you realize the club is doing a lot of the trajectory work for you. For golfers who want a wedge system that's genuinely dialed in, not just a single club, the Jaws Raw rewards that kind of attention. Keep in mind, this wedge is built for someone who knows their way around the short game. The raw finish will develop a patina over time, and if aesthetics matter to you, that's something to factor in. But for the player who's chasing maximum performance and spin, the Jaws Raw is the right call. A wedge for the golfer who wants professional-grade stopping power and shot-making versatility, and doesn't mind a club that gets better looking. In its own way, the more it gets played. Before we get into the last two wedges, if Golf Gear Now is helping you find the right equipment, the best thing you can do is hit that subscribe button and leave us a like. It helps more golfers find this channel. And don't forget, all the links to everything in today's video are in the description below with the best pricing we could find. Now let's keep going. Speaking of pushing performance forward, if you want the newest wedge Callaway has released, the Opus SP Plus is it. And it's clear from the ground up that they were aiming at a very specific golfer, someone who wants serious spin performance combined with a clean, tour-preferred look at address. The core technology is the spin pocket construction, a re-engineered three-piece head design that strategically repositions mass to push the center of gravity higher. That elevated CG promotes a more penetrating, controlled launch on full shots and approach shots, and it's specifically designed to give you more spin when you're attacking tight pins or trying to flight a shot in tough conditions. Callaway amplified that by adding 13 or more grams of tungsten at the back of the club head, working alongside the spin pocket to raise the CG even further. More spin, more control, and it's consistent from full swings all the way down to pitches and greenside chips. The face is the Spin Gen 2.0, which is Callaway's most advanced wedge face yet. They moved the groove angle to 17 degrees with tighter pitch spacing, which increases the amount of groove edge contact at impact. Add a deeper crosshatch laser pattern across the face, and you get more friction, more bite, and more stopping power across a wide variety of lies and shot types. The shape, what Callaway calls Shape 6, was the sixth and final iteration in the design process, validated by tour players and major champions. It has a clean, confident look at address without being too blade thin or too chunky. For players who are picky about what they see when they look down at a wedge, this one is going to check a lot of boxes. One thing that sets the SP Plus apart from a lot of performance-focused wedges is that it doesn't sacrifice versatility for spin. The grind selection, S, Z, and X across the loft range, gives you real options depending on whether you play open-faced shots around the green, have a steep angle of attack, or tend to take shallower divots. And because the spin pocket construction spin raises CG without making the head feel heavy or clunky, the SP Plus still has the crisp, responsive feel at impact that serious players demand. It's a well-rounded performance tool, not a one-trick club. The right option for the golfer who wants to be on the cutting edge of what Callaway is building. And to wrap things up, we saved something a little different for last, the Callaway CB12. Every other wedge on this list leans toward the traditional blade or semi-blade profile. The CB12 goes in a completely different direction, and that's exactly why it earns the best overall nod. It's a cavity-back wedge design, meaning there's a deep cavity behind the face that redistributes weight to the perimeter of the club head. Combined with 12 grams of perimeter weighting and a larger, more confidence-inspiring head, the CB12 is genuinely forgiving in a way that most wedges simply aren't. That matters a lot when you're under pressure. When you've got a tricky chip from an awkward lie, or you're trying to land a pitch close from 60 yards, a little extra forgiveness can be the difference between a good result and a disaster. The urethane microspheres are in the mix here too, giving that same soft, responsive feel at impact that Callaway has been building into their premium iron lineup. The trisole design adds versatility to an already wide sole, making it easier to handle a variety of shots from different lies and conditions without digging. And the Opus Groove platform, the same one found in the SP Plus, delivers easy spin and control whether you're attacking a pin or trying to escape a tough spot. The chamfered leading edge is a smart touch. It resists digging on tight lies, which is something you really notice on firm fairways or packed down rough around the green. And unlike some forgiving wedges that look chunky or clunky at address, the CB12 has a clean, modern shape that actually inspires confidence when you look down at the ball. It's also worth pointing out that the CB12 is available in a wide loft range, 50 through 60 degrees, which means you can build a full short game setup around this single design. A lot of golfers mix and match wedges from different brands and generations, and the result is inconsistent feel and a short game that never quite feels cohesive. Having 2 or 3 CB12 wedges from the same design family changes that. Your gap wedge, your sand wedge, and your lob wedge all have the same swing feel, the same turf interaction, the same feedback at impact. That consistency is genuinely underrated when it comes to shooting lower scores. If you've struggled with inconsistent contact around the green, or if you just want a wedge that's easier to hit well on a wide variety of shots, the CB12 delivers a combination of feel, forgiveness, and solid spin performance that very few wedges in this category can match. And that's a wrap on 5 of the best Callaway wedges available right now. Whether you're after the easy-to-hit feel of the Elyte, the tour-proven spin of the Jaws Raw, the cutting-edge technology of the Opus SP Plus, the incredible value of the MD5, or the forgiving playability of the CB12, there's something on this list that's going to make a real difference in your short game. If you found this helpful, do us a solid and hit that like button, and subscribe to Golf Gear now so you never miss our latest gear breakdowns. All the links to every wedge we covered today are in the description below with the best prices we could track down. Definitely check those out before you head to the shop. We'll see you in the next one.